Josh, how are you?
Very well, very well. How are you?
Very good, thanks. I'll be better with that belt of yours, but there you go. Can't have everything.
Fight me for it. Everyone else seems to want to, apart from other champions.
Yeah, that's true. What is going on there?
Mate, I don't know. You tell me. It's been a frustrating few weeks in waiting for news, meetings with Frank and the team. I've been up and down, thinking that some movements were going to be made, and then it just fell flat on its ass. And everyone's saying that Oscar Valdez is declared he's moving up. Don't know what's happening with Leo Santa Cruz, because he's talked about he wants to be a 4-weight world champion, and Gary Russell Jr.'s in area 51, I think. And that's where we are, and disappointed, because I more or less promised the fans that the next one would be a unification fight. I just believe that was going to happen. I believe that was the next natural step. Beating everyone I had to overhear. These guys were like in Carl Frampton and Galad, the best in Europe. The rest are over in the States, and I thought that's what was going to be happening, and it's not. And I had a fair old sulk. I did have a fair old sulk about it. Dusting myself off. Spoke with my family. Got to defend that belt, and I've got to keep active. So where we are, October 12th, we'll go again. Coachy ranks number 4 in IBF rankings, and he's a tough fella, and that's where we are.
Yeah, he's a southpaw. Is that going to present any problems for you?
It don't matter. It don't matter if it's southpaw or not. Shakur Stevenson's a southpaw, so I don't want to really dwell on the fact if it's southpaw or not. I'm a champion. A world champion should be able to deal with anything, switches to southpaws, orthodox, tall, long, short, whatever. You're a world champion. You've got to be prepared for whatever the opposite corner brings, and it's a few folk got asked in the top 10. A few weren't available. And this fella snapped it with both hands, so that's where we are.
So it might be a good warm-up for Stevenson then.
Maybe so. Like, I'm not putting them. I put a lot of pressure on my own shoulders last time. I'm thinking that get through this one and it's the big one's going to happen. I'm not going to do that this time round. All I'm going to do is concentrate on winning, be patient, and concentrate on winning. And the patience will prevail eventually. The patience will prevail. I do believe I will get that shot against another one of the champions, but I just want to bring an A-class performance just for the fans, man. Last time, stunk the house out. We in 29 fights, it's probably one where I didn't listen to my old fella. It gave me a fair old about that. But I could have done I could have gone about the fight in a different manner. Obviously, Galad takes 2 to tango. Didn't want to engage. He just tried to steal it. I felt like I was outworking him at times, and all I wanted to do were hold on and survive and see the final bell. And after that one, you just want to come back with a fighter performance, especially how the tough fights in 2018 went. So this fella, he's taking that opportunity. He's going to present himself, and he's going to give it everything. He's not coming in at 2 or 3 weeks. He's got a full camp ready for it, and I'm just going to bring an A-class performance. I don't want to talk too much, but I'm just going to deliver, show you on the night.
Yeah, it's weird. You come away, you make a successful defence of your title, and yet you're slightly downbeat about it. After the last fight. I mean,
yeah, I'm my worst critic. I'm my worst critic because I know what I'm capable of doing, and throughout the camp, sparring, everything went on point. Everything we'd worked on, and not really came of what I'd worked on. So I'm disappointed in that respect, and I can't really be doing that at this level. You've got to be bringing your best every time. It all comes down to that one night, doesn't it? And it's to be a dangerous world champion, you've got to be putting dangerous performances like where it puts fear into everyone else. I would have thought that the other champions would have thought, hey, could beat Josh actually. Let's fight him, but it didn't. So I'm focusing now. It's just throwing everyone off fight. Honestly, that's my mentality. Just every fight going to just try to win the fight as convincingly and as vicious as I can.
Yeah, I mean, when you say they didn't want the fight, did they not want to come to Leeds, or did they not want the fight full stop, like Valdez and the rest of the boys?
Didn't want the fight full stop. I mean, I've almost got on my hands and knees and begged Frank You know, absolutely begged him to make it happen, and you know, he had to like grab me by the shoulders and look me nice. Listen, I'm reassuring you, I'm doing everything I can to make it happen. They just don't want it. And I spoke to a few, you know, American folk who were at the Dubois show and Gorman show, and they were just like more or less echoing everything Frank was saying. And I didn't want it, and you know, I'm not one to take to social media and start calling people out on there. That's just not my character. It's not. I've never done it, so I'm not going to start doing it now. But even like Oscar Valdez's manager, it said we just want to fight Carl Frampton or Josh Warrington. I responded to that tweet saying I'm here, call my management team. We didn't hear nothing, and Frank gave it another push, but don't came of it. You know, so it's frustrating. You would have thought that, especially the two Mexicans there, they'd won it straight away. It's like Mexican honour, Mexican pride, fight against the other champions, be unified champion, but it's proving harder to get that to happen.
Yeah, and Valdez obviously now moved up. Is that a coincidence, do you think, or does he not want to fight you that much?
I don't know if it's me. Obviously, the WBO ordered Chico Stevenson. I don't know if he's avoiding that one. I don't know if he just wants to be. He's just talked about being a two-weight world champion. Santa Cruz has talked about him being a four-weight world champion. It's funny when these big fights come around, though, that they just want to do something else instead of just fighting them with champions. I mean, they may call me out on interviews and stuff, but the management team say a different thing, and I've seen the emails. I've seen the emails between the teams, and like I say, what can you do? What can you do? There's no what I could do. If I could have my own way, I'd fight champion after champion after champion. I've said to Frank, I don't want to be fighting like these defences, then go for a big one. I want the big one now. After that, feed me whoever. I'll fight a conveyor belt of all names coming through. I'll fight the likes of anyone calls me out. After I've had that unification fight, after I've had just my shot against another one of the champions, anyone who calls me out, you can have it. Yeah, you can have it. Just want that big one first. Desperate for it. Desperate. I don't want to be looking back at my career and thinking, what if you know, if it don't come about, or if I miss me, like my PEs and I get it too late, I should have got it in my PE. You know what I mean? I just don't want that opportunity to slip. As soon as I've done that, unified champion, box will be ticked, and everything I've ever dreamt of doing, I've done, I've accomplished, and I believe I beat any one of the other world champions.
I mean, Stevenson's the only one who has actually called you out from what I could see. Would you fancy that fight if he wins this?
If he wins it, I give him 12 rounds of hell, 100%. Listen, he's a talent, and he's got a gob to go with it. But yeah, I give him 12 rounds of hell. But I won't be disrespectful and saying like just get yourself a belt. That was just me. I want the big unification fight. I can't make it any clearer. I feel like I'm echoing myself, repeating myself, but that's all I'm after. So yeah, listen, if he goes and wins that world title, then see what happens.
But it could be worse. You could be Carl Frampton having a freak accident putting you out of a fight.
Yeah, I know. It's not like some and Jerry, isn't it? You know, everything's fallen on his hand and that. But feel for him. It's never nice. You spend that time away from family. Obviously, he's not getting any younger. You can't afford that time out. You can't afford to be missing fights and opportunities. So yeah, gutted for that lad. Absolutely gutted for that lad, and disappointed in the way that I thought if we get through this one and then got a world title shot in the WBO, that we could have a rematch, and that'd have been like a unification. But I think I seen an interview with him yesterday saying that he couldn't even consider moving up himself. So you know, it's one of them.